So I want to paint some clouds, and it's a beautiful day today, so I'm gonna go and check for some inspiration. It's been about 2 or 3 years that I live in Thailand, and I gotta say that I saw clouds everywhere in the world, but these are the best. So, maybe you didn't know, but I'm a huge fan of clouds. I actually love to look at all the clouds in all the cities that I've been, and the best clouds for me are always the Cumulonimbus. Those are the big ones, the puffy one, the one that look round, almost like they are sculpture in the sky. And so today in this video, now that we are inspired, I want to show you how you can paint those clouds with more ease, and I'm going to give you a step-by-step on how to do so. Alright, so here's what I'm going to actually paint. It's a cloud with some birds, and it wasn't complicated at all. Actually, the birds are on a separate layer. That was just one stamp of a brush. And when it comes to the actual clouds, well, I built it in about 3 steps. The first one was to establish the basic shape of it. Then the second step was to add a little bit more form, and then the third step was to add details. And for this, I've been using a texture brush, and so I'm going to walk you through those 3 steps one by one and talk your way through. So step 1 is to simply have an outline. Any outline of a cloud will work, and then what you want to do is to fit up that shape with a flat value. And you don't want to go too bright, you don't want to go too dark. Something in the middle, a mid value will do. Once you have it filled, you can go to step 2. So when it comes to a cloud, you have to understand that there's a lot of things happening. You have the sunlight that is basically bouncing on one of those sides. You have subsurface scattering, which is basically the sun rays going in the cloud and then illuminating from inside. There is some bounce light, that's the light bouncing from the cloud onto the cloud itself, and you have some shadows into all of this. And so it creates a very complex shapes and form with all that bounce light and shadows and subsurface scattering. So I have a few tricks for this. The first one is just to understand the light direction. Once you understand that, you want to make sure that the light direction follows up the whole time. So on this example, I'm making sure that it's always coming from the left. So I'm making the left just a little bit more pale than the right part, which is in the shadow. And then later on, what I'll do is I'm going to use a blending mode. I'm going to use the color dodge blending mode, and this way it's going to add some subsurface scattering naturally. And so when come the times of step 3, what you want to do is take your time here. It's all about details, so you can take as much time as you want really, but you want to follow the same principle. You want to make sure that your light is from the left or wherever the direction of the light is, and your shadows and all of that. And what I do a lot is I paint with a texture brush, and then I use the smudge tool and the mixer brush tool to soften those edges and mix those textures together. A cloud naturally has soft and hard edges a little bit everywhere, so you want to just mix those as long as it's looking harmonious. You don't have to make it look purely realistic. Definitely use references to help you to paint your cloud, especially if you're doing a photo study, obviously, but you don't want to have to be like photorealistic. Just get inspired from it. Try to find that movement of yours to just kind of make it fluffy, and then use the smudge tool and mixer brush tool to kind of blend those textures together. Do you like this video? Then don't be shy. Click that subscribe button. This will help us to create more content in the future. I'll finish with this here just to show you left and right. Those are both illustrations that I did. The first one I did yesterday as a practice before I record this video, and the one to the right I did afterwards. Now the one to the left I did in about an hour. I really took my time, look at a lot of references, and the one from the left, I basically tried to just break down the steps. And I'd say that I prefer the one from the left. I definitely took more of my time, but they're very similar, and the one to the right, it took me about 30 minutes. So if you're doing this technique, just be sure as a reminder that you're doing it more than once. If you're doing it a few times, you'll find your rhythm, and you'll be able to understand those steps and put them in your flow much easier than if you were to just do one. I think it's a mistake that we all do, thinking to follow one time tutorials and then expecting us to be perfect at it. Remember that repetition is key into your learnings, and so doing maybe a series of 2-3 clouds, 3 photo studies, for example, would be ideal in this case, and you'll see much greater progress this way. And that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you have anything that you would like for me to make a video of, please put your suggestion in the comments below. I'll make sure to give it a read. And for the rest, be sure to subscribe to not miss any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy painting, guys.